The day Jake Paul totally smashed Nate Diaz in the boxing ring was epic, totally brutal. This hype event happened on August 5th, 2023 in the USA with Nate Diaz and Jake Paul headlining one of the most anticipated boxing matches of the year. 10 intense rounds. Before this fight, both fighters had already faced some serious contenders. Jake Paul, for instance, had taken on folks like Nate Robinson and Tyron Woodley, showing steady improvement in his boxing skills. Pure dynamite. Meanwhile, Nate Diaz in the UFC squared off and defeated big names like Conor McGregor and Tony Ferguson, showing off his polished technique by finishing both opponents. Pure style. The lead up to the fight was marked by intense psychological warfare, especially from Jake Paul, who didn't hold back in trying to psych out Nate Diaz. When the announcer popped the question to Jake, he shot back instantly.
Jake, would you say Nate is the toughest opponent you faced yet?
I think he's the dumbest opponent yet.
Annoyed, Diaz clapped back at Jake's remark.
Bring the monkey out, dog. Bring your fucking stuffed animal out.
Jake spilled the beans.
I promise I'm gonna be the first person to make this man go to sleep. Unconscious Nate. Unconscious Nate.
Grilled by the audience, Jake didn't hesitate and hit back hard.
If you run into this man away from the cameras all alone, how does that play out in real life?
I'm gonna bend him over and fuck him like a cowboy.
Diaz got heated and started hurling insults at Paul, who responded with a scoff.
You're the fucking bad guy, and this little fuck right here needs the ass whip. And fuck your dad, too. How about that? Fuck your whole shit.
I'm so scared. Nate's mad.
During the weigh-in, Diaz threw another jab, and Jake matched the energy.
Don't forget, this motherfucker can't really fight. Motherfucker. Fuck you. Hey, love, I'll see you next time. See you tomorrow.
I'm fucking him up, Ariel. I'm fucking him up.
On the night of the fight, Jake entered with confidence but was booed. Meanwhile, Nate entered with the calm of someone who's faced giants before and was cheered. After the referee gave the instructions, the fighters shook hands and the fight began. Hey fighter! Before you keep watching the video, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on a knockout. First round. From the get-go, the tension was palpable, and both fighters started on the defensive. Jake Paul went on the offensive with a cross, followed by other punches that missed the mark. But he didn't give up, and with a mix of youth and aggression, threw a series of powerful punches. His determination was clear in every move, and after a quick flurry of punches, he landed a cross that hit its target hard. Nate Diaz responded with a precise straight, trying to skillfully dodge Jake's attacks. Diaz absorbed some punches but came out almost unscathed, showing his ability to handle the pressure. The first round ended with a clear advantage for Paul, scoring 10-9. Making it clear the fight would be tighter than expected. Second round! In the second round, Nate dodged a cross from Jake and managed to connect with some crosses and uppercuts. Persistent, Diaz landed a clean straight to Paul's face. Jake quickly cornered Nate against the ropes, in addition to connecting a straight afterward. Moreover, he launched a series of powerful hooks, showing relentless aggression. The fighters exchanged intense blows, ending up in a clinch, forcing the referee to step in to separate them. At a critical moment, Paul landed 3 crosses to Diaz's face, staggering his opponent. The round ended with a clear advantage for Jake, scoring 10-9 on the scoreboard. With that score, Paul opened up a 2-point lead, making the fight even more thrilling. Third round. In the third round, Nate stepped up the attack, landing 2 effective crosses after several attempts. Not satisfied, Diaz managed to connect 2 crosses to the abdomen and 1 to the face of Paul. With an aggressive pace, Nate threw a series of punches to Jake's face. The fight heated up, with fierce exchanges of blows between the fighters. Jake didn't lag behind and landed an uppercut, followed by a cross and another uppercut. With the fight at a rapid pace, Jake took advantage of a gap and connected a combination of cross, straight, and another cross to Diaz's face. The intensity increased, and Jake, with redoubled aggression, landed a straight to the face and an uppercut to Nate's abdomen. At a decisive moment, Jake managed to connect a straight to the face, along with a powerful cross on Nate. When the third round came to an end, Jake managed to score 10-9 on the scoreboard, widening his lead to 3 points and adding even more excitement to the duel. Fourth round. At the start of the fourth round, Jake Paul entered boasting and managed to connect an uppercut and a sequence of crosses and straights to Diaz's face. Though some of those punches missed the mark, he landed 2 straights that scored important points. As the minutes passed, the exchange of blows only increased the tension in the ring. Nate, however, wasn't intimidated and took every opening Jake left to counterattack with a sequence of uppercuts. In a direct exchange, Nate landed some crosses to Paul's face, in addition to a clean uppercut. At a critical moment, Diaz launched a series of blows, in addition to a straight to the face. Almost at the end of the round, Jake landed a precise uppercut on Nate, who returned with another. The round ended with an advantage for Nate Diaz, scoring 10-9 on the scoreboard. With that score, he was 2 points behind Jake Paul. Fifth round. In the fifth round, Nate Diaz adopted a more defensive stance, visibly tired. Despite the fatigue, he threw a series of powerful punches, showcasing his skill. Diaz, with his vast experience, landed 2 uppercuts and a straight on Jake. The two exchanged intense blows, demonstrating great resilience and strength. Jake consistently pressed Diaz, and after some glancing blows, landed a notable uppercut. Cornering Diaz against the ropes, Jake launched a powerful uppercut followed by several straights. At a critical moment, Jake Paul achieved a decisive knockdown, knocking down Nate Diaz with a precise blow. Nate, with incredible determination, quickly got up, standing firm until the end, and still launched a strong cross. The round ended with Jake Paul clearly ahead, scoring 10-8 on the scoreboard after a spectacular knockdown. With that score, Paul opened a 4-point lead, making it clear he was determined to emerge victorious. Sixth round! In the sixth round, Jake launched an attack, landing 2 precise straights. With agile movements, Paul explored every opportunity, launched powerful combinations, and a devastating cross. Paul, always alert, looks for a gap to land his sequence of punches. The fighters resorted to the clinch to catch their breath, but the intensity of the fight did not decrease. Nate, cunning, strategically counterattacked, dodging and aiming to land decisive blows. Determined to win, Diaz cornered Jake against the ropes and launched a series of blows. The round ended with Diaz taking the advantage, scoring 10-9 on the scoreboard. Although he was 3 points behind in the overall score, the dispute was far from over. Seventh round. In the seventh round, Diaz launched an attack, looking for gaps to strike at Paul. Nate, with incredible resilience, tried to connect crosses, dodging and combining blows that staggered Jake. The fighters exchanged intense blows in a display of strength and technique. Jake, although pressured, took any gap to counterattack with a fierce sequence of fists, landing a devastating cross. Paul, not falling behind, connected an uppercut to Diaz, trapping him against the ropes. The round ended with Jake Paul ahead, scoring 10-9 on the scoreboard, extending his lead to 4 points, increasing the pressure on Nate Diaz. Eighth round. Already in the eighth round, both fighters launched sharp punches that cut the air. Jake, with evident determination, landed 2 uppercuts and a powerful straight. In a moment of clarity, Paul connected an overwhelming cross. Skillfully, Paul dodged and counterattacked with an uppercut followed by a powerful cross. The two exchanged heavy punches, displaying remarkable strength and resilience. With his guard up, Nate advanced, connecting a cross and a straight. Diaz, without giving respite, launched another devastating uppercut. In the final moments, he fired a sequence of crushing blows. The round closed with Diaz ahead, scoring 10-9, reducing the difference to 3 points, keeping the dispute tight and unpredictable. Ninth round. With the pressure mounting, the ninth round began with Jake attacking Nate mercilessly. Every blow was a brutal lash, wanting to dominate from the start. Determined, Jake launched a precise straight, followed by an uppercut and a right cross. Full throttle, he didn't stop, he retreated, but attacked relentlessly with a sequence of blows. The fighters, thirsty for victory, had several direct exchanges. Diaz, keeping his guard high, dismissed Jake's blows, implying they were weak. Nate stood firm, managed to land a precise uppercut on Jake. Diaz, showing his incredible resilience and skill, did not give up and managed to connect a straight. At the end of the round, the fighters launched a sequence of intense blows, seeking to dominate the fight without giving quarter. The round ended with a clear advantage for Paul, who managed to score 10-9 on the scoreboard, increasing his lead to 4 points. Now, for Diaz, the only hope was a knockout to turn the game around. 10th round! In the 10th round, it was all or nothing for Nate Diaz, who needed a knockout to secure the victory. Nate was giving it his all, moving forward, pressing Paul, who kept his guard closed. In a moment of the battle, Diaz gestured, and karma hit hard. Jake landed an uppercut and a cross. Furious, Nate moved forward with a sequence of blows and landed a cross on Jake. In a critical moment, Diaz challenged Jake to hit, who responded with precision, including a standout uppercut. Diaz did not ease the pressure, pushing Paul against the ropes with a series of effective blows. The exchange of blows intensified, and even with the judge's intervention during the clinch, the battle continued fiercely. Jake, keeping distance, took advantage of every opening to attack, pressing Diaz against the ropes with a sequence of heavy punches. Paul showed his cunning, reading every move and counter-attacking with precision. The fight ended with a wide advantage for Jake Paul, scoring 10-9 on the scoreboard, consolidating a unanimous decision victory with a 5-point lead thanks to his determination and skill. At the end of the fight, Nate embraced Jake, recognizing the sportsmanship and mutual passion for combat. With this victory, the YouTuber received an impressive remuneration. It's estimated that Jake Paul received a fixed amount of $2 million, plus the pay-per-view revenue, accumulating a total of $10 million. On the other hand, Diaz, although not reaching the same figures, also earned a significant amount. Some sources speculate that he received an amount of $500,000, plus the pay-per-view, totaling $5 million. At the end of the fight, Jake challenged Diaz to a future rematch in MMA, creating anticipation for perhaps another major event.
So there's the offer on the table, $10 million in MMA next fight. Is that what you want to do next?
Yeah, I want $10 million PFL, that's the offer. Let's run it back in MMA. Make it fair. I won one, now it's your chance in your home territory. MMA, let's do it.
The day Conor McGregor annihilated Nate Diaz in a legendary MMA rematch was epic. This epic clash took place on August 20th, 2016 in the United States, with Conor McGregor and Nate Diaz headlining one of the most anticipated fights of the year in 5 electrifying rounds. This rematch was set because Conor was fuming after their first matchup in 2016, where he faced a humiliating defeat by submission. In the first round, Conor McGregor dominated with a series of precise strikes and quick jabs, putting pressure on Diaz right from the start. However, in the second round, Diaz shocked McGregor with a mix of jabs and straights, ending in a guillotine that took the fight to the ground. On the ground, Diaz wasted no time and locked in a rear naked choke, forcing McGregor to tap out. With the end of the fight, Nate Diaz won over Conor McGregor by submission in an epic turnaround that went down in UFC history. After this loss, McGregor was seeking redemption and a chance to restore his reputation as one of UFC's most dominant fighters. Meanwhile, Nate wanted to solidify his victory and prove that the previous outcome wasn't just a fluke and that he was ready to reaffirm his dominance. Both fighters turned the rematch anticipation into a stunning spectacle. Hey fighter, before you continue watching the video, hit subscribe so you don't miss a knockout. The pre-fight period was marked by intense psychological warfare, especially from Conor McGregor, who pulled no punches in trying to rattle Nate Diaz.
Get the fuck out of here! Fuck you!
When asked about his fight with Nate Diaz, McGregor declared,
He should have killed me when he had the chance, because now I'm back and I'm going to kill you and your whole fucking team. You and them bitch kids.
Nate firmly responded to Conor's intimidation attempts.
I train always hard to kill. He already dead from the last time. That's a new guy. Because killer can't be killed again. USA, motherfucker!
In an interview, Conor made it clear he'll show no mercy.
Let me see that full camp. I can't wait to see it. Bring the clinch, bring your jiu-jitsu, bring the whole of fucking Stockton.
Nate countered McGregor's taunts.
All the to this guy because he knows somebody. He didn't do pump him up. He knows somebody who got him in, and now he's like thinks he's king and he's riding the momentum wave. I ain't buying this.
At a conference, Nate makes it clear to Conor.
I don't give up.
Conor taunts.
I don't give a either. I don't give a either.
On fight night, Nate entered confident, while McGregor came in with fire in his eyes. After the ref gave the instructions, the fighters barely looked at each other and the fight kicked off. First round. From the get-go, the tension in the octagon was palpable, setting the stage for a thrilling showdown. Conor McGregor, already known for his aggressive style, didn't disappoint, coming in hot and delivering low kicks that were like bombs. Every move he made was calculated, peaking with a precise cross that found its mark. McGregor wasted no time, quickly landing an uppercut, followed by a devastating straight. A powerful cross from Conor rocked Nate Diaz, who, despite the impact, didn't back down easily. In the striking exchange, the fighters landed glancing blows. Nate, known for his durability, bravely withstood the onslaught. Even under pressure, he held his ground, attempting kicks and pressing McGregor, looking for any opening to connect his heavy hits. At a critical point in the round, a thunderous cross from Conor hit Diaz's head, sending him to the mat. With his fighter spirit, Nate defended himself and got up, ready to battle to the end. In the final moments, McGregor, with an aggressive stance, managed to defend and hit 2 crosses on Nate's face, making him bleed. The first round ended with a clear advantage for Conor, scoring 10-9, making it clear the fight was going to be tougher than expected. Second round. In the heat of the second round, Conor McGregor kept up his aggressive strategy, attacking Nate Diaz's legs with precise kicks. In a striking moment, McGregor landed a cross that knocked Diaz down, showcasing his ability to read the game and counterattack effectively, keeping the fight vibrant and unpredictable. McGregor gave no quarter, landing a straight and a cross with full force. Conor, full of tricks, landed a cross on Diaz's face. He was clearly determined to win, ramping up his attack with a series of powerful blows, including an uppercut, a straight, and a kick that shook Nate. The tension in the octagon was palpable as the fighters exchanged intense blows, each trying to dominate the other and rack up points. Meanwhile, Nate Diaz adopted a more cautious stance, trying to regain control with a powerful straight. On the ground, he showed quick reflexes, defending and attempting to hit Conor's face. His determination showed as he managed to land a powerful cross on Conor. Realizing his opponent was trying to escape, Diaz, with grit, landed a right cross. Diaz pushed forward with determination, stringing together a series of hits, including a knee and a straight that caught McGregor in the mouth. Thirsty for victory, Nate went all out, taking Conor down and unleashing a flurry of punches. With skill, Nate pressed Conor against the cage and delivered a series of uppercuts. In a moment of provocation, Nate taunted Conor for avoiding direct confrontation. The second round ended with an advantage for McGregor, who managed to score 10-9 on the scorecard. With this score, Conor gained a 2-point lead, making the fight even more exciting. Third round. In the third round, the tension was palpable as each fighter meticulously analyzed the opponent, looking for vulnerabilities. Nate Diaz, with his sharp technical skill, managed to connect 2 devastating crosses. With fierce determination, Diaz cornered Conor McGregor against the cage, unleashing a flurry of strikes trying to take him down, which ignited the crowd, chanting his name. Diaz continued his offensive with incisive crosses and, at a crucial point in the fight, delivered a series of powerful punches. Meanwhile, as Conor ran, Nate mocked him, ramping up the tension in the octagon. Annoyed, Conor retaliated with a kick, but ended up taking a cross in response. The two exchanged intense blows in a brutal contest. In a turnaround attempt, Conor executed a high kick, but Nate skillfully grabbed his leg, throwing him against the cage and delivering a series of strikes, although he received an elbow in response. Conor was visibly tired, but he wasn't giving up. However, regaining control, McGregor pressed Diaz against the cage, where he managed to make Nate's nose bleed with precise strikes. Not to be outdone, Conor landed some low kicks and connected a cross on his opponent. The round ended with a clear advantage for Nate Diaz, who managed to score 10-9. With this score, he was just 1 point behind Conor, indicating that the contest was far from decided and promising an intense and thrilling fight to the end. Fourth round. As the fourth round began, the physical toll on both fighters was evident, but it did not lessen the intensity of the battle. Nate Diaz advanced with determination, attempting a kick to Conor McGregor's chest. He quickly ramped up the pressure, cornering McGregor against the cage and trying a knee in an attempt to dominate and deliver a series of crosses. With relentless determination, Nate landed a precise straight, keeping the fight intense with heavy exchanges. Conor, seizing an opening, responded with a cross, followed by a cunning combination of a straight and another cross. Not stopping there, McGregor showed his agility by connecting another straight and a powerful kick, and with a precise elbow hit Diaz's face, increasing the pressure on his opponent. As the fight intensified, McGregor landed a series of strikes, defending a high kick from Diaz, making the opponent fall to the ground. In the final moments of the round, the fighters engaged in a frenzied exchange of crosses, each seeking to secure crucial points. The fourth round ended with an advantage for McGregor, who managed to score 10-9. With this score, Conor was 2 points ahead, putting pressure on Diaz. At this point in the fight, Nate Diaz was left with only the hope of a knockout or a submission to turn the tide of the battle. Fifth round. The fifth round kicked off with the fighters getting more aggressive. Conor McGregor, with his sharp technique, unleashed a powerful cross on Nate Diaz, followed by a series of severe strikes. Pinned against the cage, Conor showed resilience and skill by turning the tide, exploiting Nate's injuries and making him bleed heavily. Against the cage, Conor spared no effort and energy, showing a burning desire for victory. In the heat of the fight, both fighters exchanged fierce blows in a grim body-to-body battle. It was do or die for Diaz, who needed to dominate the ring to secure the win. Nate, with his vast experience and agility, pushed Conor against the cage and connected an impactful cross. Diaz landed a powerful cross on Conor, marking a critical point in the fight. Determined to turn the score around, Diaz followed up with an uppercut and fought to take down McGregor, showing pure grit. Indignant at seeing Conor walk away, Nate responded by flipping him off. Staying focused, Diaz landed another cross and an elbow, followed by a successful takedown and another elbow attempt, displaying relentless persistence. The round ended with a clear advantage for Diaz, who managed to score 10-9. Despite winning the fifth round, Nate was 1 point behind in the final score. With this score, Conor McGregor was declared the winner by majority decision. At the end of the fight, Nate helped Conor up, and they exchanged greetings, recognizing the sportsmanship and mutual passion for the fight. With this victory, McGregor received a staggering payout. It's estimated that he made about $3 million from the fight. While Nate didn't hit the same numbers, he also secured a significant sum. Some sources speculate that he received around $2 million. After the event, McGregor's victory led to speculation about future rematches and other major clashes, keeping public interest at its peak. Both McGregor and Diaz expressed interest in a trilogy to definitively resolve their rivalry. Did you enjoy watching this epic showdown? The day Nate Diaz destroyed Conor McGregor in MMA was incredible. This thrilling matchup went down on March 5th, 2016 in the United States, with Nate Diaz and Conor McGregor pulling off one of the most surprising MMA fights of the year, featuring 2 intense rounds. Conor McGregor was originally set to fight for the lightweight title against Rafael dos Anjos, but due to an injury to his opponent, Nate Diaz stepped in as a replacement with just 11 days' notice. Before this fight, both fighters had already faced formidable opponents. Conor McGregor, known for his aggressiveness and technical skill, had faced and knocked out competitors like Jose Aldo, Chad Mendes, Dennis Siver, and Dustin Poirier, solidifying his reign in the octagon with breathtaking performances. Meanwhile, Nate Diaz in the UFC had faced and beaten big names like Michael Johnson and Donald Cerrone by unanimous decision, as well as Jim Miller and Marcus Davis by submission, showcasing his refined technique. The pre-fight period was marked by intense psychological warfare, especially from Conor McGregor, who spared no words in trying to destabilize Nate Diaz. The announcer throws a question at Conor, who fires back immediately.
How important are you to the UFC business-wise?
He's going to make his first million here, so he really should be thankful and be grateful for this opportunity that I'm giving him.
Annoyed, Diaz counters Conor's remark.
You should be thankful too. You got a bigger check now than fighting Dos Anjos. Been a little penny check with that.
My check.
McGregor argues.
My check. Don't talk about money. You're broke.
Conor also tries to humiliate Nate.
I could easily switch you up now and go put you back on that 20 and 20 if you want. But all I want is a thank you, or even a little dance.
You're welcome.
Even a little dance. Dance for me, Nate. Dance for me. And don't look me in the eye when you dance.
The insults began to go too far, and Conor provokes even more.
Don't worry about it. Get comfortable. Get comfortable. 170. Get comfortable. 170, brother. Yeah, get comfortable.
Nate retorts.
I don't give a either. I don't give a either.
When asked by the interviewer,
so what is going to happen on March 5th with Nate Diaz?
Conor doesn't hesitate and answers ruthlessly.
I feel his body will be ripped to shreds.
In a TV interview, the reporter asks,
they want you to give us a quick count to 10, both of you gentlemen, if you don't mind, just if you wouldn't mind counting to 10.
Conor mocks.
Nate can only count to 5.
Nate responds.
Damn.
McGregor mocks even more.
Count to 5, Nate, will you, if you can?
Conor, annoyed, Nate says.
You up with that coffee.
Counting. How about
and
that?
who are you up with that coffee?
The reporter asks a controversial question to Diaz, who responds irritably.
Nate, how much of the purse you're going to take home do you owe to Conor McGregor?
I don't know him.
Conor provokes.
Anything over 40 grand he owes me, because that was his last paycheck. I wiped my with that money. I tipped that money.
Diaz gets furious and lays it down for Conor.
I was gonna get it regardless, sooner or later. It's coming, with or without you.
Hey fighter! Before you continue watching the video, hit subscribe so you don't miss a knockout. On the night of the fight, Nate entered with rage, while McGregor came in with fire in his eyes. As the referee gave the instructions, the two fighters exchanged heated taunts, barely looked at each other, and the fight kicked off. First round. From the start of the first round, the fighters displayed palpable energy, though both approached the fight with strategic caution. Nate quickly showed his strength, landing a powerful straight on Conor, marking a critical point in the fight. Keeping up the pace, Diaz delivered a sharp uppercut to McGregor's abdomen, showing his intent to dominate. After a clinch, Nate pressed Conor against the cage, trying to dominate with a flurry of strikes. Despite the blood streaming from his eye, Diaz kept focused, dodging and blocking McGregor's attacks. Relentless, Nate didn't give Conor a break, slapping him on the head to keep him alert. The exchange of crosses was intense, with Diaz landing a cross to McGregor's face, who retaliated by opening a cut over Nate's eyebrow, which Nate promptly answered with an equally precise cross. Showing impressive agility, Nate dodged a straight and two crosses. In the striking exchange, the fighters delivered grazing blows, including a spinning kick from Conor. Every move was calculated. Both fighters showcased their preparation and skill. McGregor, full of tricks, connected a cross to Diaz's face, followed by another devastating cross that highlighted his determination. Advancing aggressively, Conor landed a series of strikes, but Nate skillfully avoided more significant damage. McGregor, with impressive agility, dodged Diaz's counterattacks. After landing a kick on Nate, Conor took a knee strike, along with a cross to the face. Frustrated by his inability to land his strikes, Conor charged forward, hitting Nate with a powerful kick to the abdomen. With a furious look, McGregor precisely aimed at Diaz's knee in a clear attempt to destabilize him. As the final minutes of the first round approached, the fight escalated in ferocity. McGregor executed a high kick, but Nate, in a swift move, caught his leg and took him down, starting a frenetic exchange of strikes on the ground. The first round ended with an advantage for McGregor, who managed to score 10-9. With this score, Conor took a 1-point lead, putting pressure on Diaz. Second round. In the heat of the second round, Conor McGregor took the reins, launching a leg kick at Nate Diaz. With fierce determination, McGregor threw a spinning kick, but Diaz skillfully dodged. In an intense sequence, Conor advanced with vigorous crosses, but got a slap to the head from Nate to keep him alert. McGregor kept up the pressure, swinging a strike dangerously close to Diaz's injury. A powerful cross from Conor rocked Nate, showcasing the strength of the blow. In the following exchange of crosses, McGregor skillfully dodged and, with a quick counterattack, landed a powerful cross on Diaz's face. Conor didn't waste time and, seizing an opening, connected another pinpoint cross. With relentless pace, McGregor dodged and responded with precise crosses, showing he was not there to play. Knowing he needed to dominate the ring to secure the win, Conor landed a powerful cross on Nate. Showing control and precision in landing strikes, McGregor pushed Diaz against the cage, followed by a devastating knee. The fight turned into a grim body-to-body battle, where both fighters exchanged furious blows, missing some, but Conor managed to connect a powerful uppercut, highlighting his technical superiority. Seeing an opportunity to end the fight, McGregor ramped up the attack with a flurry of strikes. Conor dominated, unleashing a series of strikes aiming to knock Nate down, and managed to land another precise uppercut. The round turned into a real war, with McGregor hitting Nate, who didn't take it lightly, and retaliate. Furious, Conor connected a straight and a cross, clearly signaling his intense thirst for victory. With another cross, McGregor reaffirmed that the fight was far from over. The tension was palpable, with the opponents eager for points in an intense exchange. Both fighters showed determination, with quick blows grazing by. Meanwhile, Diaz adopted a more cautious approach, showing fatigue but maintaining solid defense and effective dodges. The fight intensified when Nate managed to pin Conor, even with a wound bleeding more intensely. Despite this, Diaz remained resilient, landing a precise cross on McGregor's chin, followed by well-calculated counterattacks and robust defense. Nate, full of tricks, hit a precise cross on McGregor, followed by a series of powerful strikes to push Conor back. Each of Diaz's blows was delivered with brutal intensity, aiming to completely dominate McGregor. Nate ramped up the attack, launching a series of powerful strikes that made Conor retreat, clearly pressured by the offensive. Pressing McGregor against the cage, Diaz delivered a series of punches, keeping Conor trapped and under constant pressure. Showing a burning desire to win, Nate spared no effort, alternating uppercuts with knees, controlling the round impressively. With the fight heating up, Diaz hit McGregor with a straight and a cross. Not satisfied, and followed up with two more crosses. Trying to turn the tables, Conor attempted to take Nate to the ground, but the maneuver backfired. On the ground, fighting with all his might, Diaz pummeled McGregor with a barrage of strikes. In a crucial moment, he seized an opening to lock in a rear naked choke, finishing Conor spectacularly. The second round ended with Nate Diaz being declared the winner after an impressive submission over Conor McGregor. At the end of the fight, Nate congratulated and hugged Conor, showing the respect and passion both have for fighting. With this victory, Nate Diaz received a staggering payout. It's estimated that he made about $500,000 just for the fight, plus $50,000 for the performance of the night, along with a $50,000 bonus for fight of the night, and even snagged $20,000 in sponsorship from Reebok, totaling $620,000. Meanwhile, Conor, despite his loss, hit even bigger numbers due to his popularity. Some sources claim he made about $1 million from the fight, plus a $50,000 bonus for Fight of the Night, and another $40,000 in sponsorship from Reebok, totaling $1,090,000. McGregor, unhappy with the outcome, expressed interest in a rematch, believing he could win in a future fight. Diaz, confident after his victory, showed openness to a second bout, promising another big event for the boxing world. Did you enjoy watching this epic showdown? Then you'll flip out on the day Holyfield beat down Mike Tyson. Curious? Then just hit up the video popping up on your screen and check out this legendary fight.